What were you doing? And how
Uh,
bad is it porn related?
I was trying to hit level 4 before we started, but that's fine.
Oh, what's this run going to
Shoot.
be?
Oh, this is the honor mode one.
Ah, the one you give a shit about, not the one we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I give a shit about the one that we're gonna do. The honor mode that we're gonna do. It's just I know that one's gonna be a lot more challenging because it's like gonna be like herding cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's fine. Like I said, I'll play a warlock. So worst case scenario, I can turn invisible, run away, and then revive you suckers.
I like that. That's good. The thing with an honor mode is you need somebody who's going to run away and not party wipe.
You kind of just need to know what you're doing, but that's the challenge for us. So
The challenge for us is communicating before we do things too. Like, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this, and you wait for me to be done.
yeah, that's the other reason why I'm playing a warlock, since it's a ranged class. You guys can run and do your thing, and then you're not going to screw up my thing.
And you're just throwing out cantrips. It's not like you're, losing spell slots. You're just losing an action.
Yeah. Well, also, I won't have to deal with setting up sneak attacks. Although, if somebody else is playing a rogue and they need me to set up a sneak attack, I'll help them with that.
Aw, you're so giving.
Yeah, I'm actually a team player.
Epic girl boss. Epic boss girl move. Epic boss girl move. There we go.
All right. Let me open up the.
Don't forget to mention that the website has changed so that our one listener doesn't go to the wrong place.
What's the website now?
OOOshow.com.
Okay. Well, assuming you're recording, then it is. They now know.
Oh shit, that was slick.
Yeah. I know what I'm about. Let me just close some of the things drawing on my bandwidth, and we can start with whenever you guys are ready.
I like as you say that we're gonna get rid of your bandwidth, that's when it hiccups.
Okay, let me move to the other room then. My living room was getting hot, so I was moving to the other room so that it would be a little cooler, but that's evidently not happening, so whatever, it's fine. I'll move back out to the living room closer to the Wi-Fi router. There we go. Sit down on a pillow. Okay, podcasting on the floor today. Oh, that's the natural state that anyone wants to be in. Just supine. And, yeah, under a fan. It all feels very good. Alright, by the way, how am I coming through? Because I was kind of, I don't know, maybe I was holding the tablet weird last time, but I was very far away from it.
You're doing okay now. I know, like,
Okay.
it was fine for a good chunk last time, but there's just like a little bit where it started to get like a little bit far away. So,
Yeah,
you were okay.
It's very bright. And, like, right now, look, it's like, I think it's like in the mid-70s right now, so I don't want to turn on lights to heat the inside of the house. So all I've got is this bright glare from my tablet just right in my eyes, and so like I'll move it a little bit further back so it's not quite as bright, and then that's when it starts to get a little bit quiet, like that does right now.
I love it,
That's
Brian.
cool.
Did you hear that? It's warm. It's in the mid-70s, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a very well insulated place, so when I generate heat on the inside, it takes a while to dissipate. So it's in the mid 70s, but in here it's in the probably in the low 80s inside the house.
Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, people have what they do with the weather, and I don't like that stuff where there's like competitive. It's hotter here, blah 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 stuff on
Yeah.
Facebook. I was into the comparison because I'm in the same place. Like, it's mid-70s here. I got the fans on in the window, though. Let's cool this shit down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like my mom, she lives in Arizona too, and it's there was what, like 100 days of 100 degrees in a row, something along those lines. That's real bad.
113.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
that.
also at the same time, like you guys have the air conditioning on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's fine in here. It's nice and
yeah,
cold where I'm sitting right now.
exactly. So like when I say, "Oh man, it's like in the 70s or 80s inside," it's like, yeah, that's not comfortable for anyone. Even someone in Phoenix is like, "Oh yeah, 80 inside sucks." It's like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that your air conditioning is set to like 72, right, or even lower.
68.
Well, it's not that. I mean, that would be like $1 million a month if it was that.
Yeah,
But no, it's like, I think it's at 78. But like, right where I am, right here, where the air conditioner is blowing on me and the fan, it's
yeah,
probably like, I don't know, 68 right here.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
It's very nice.
Yeah, because like in order to make it 68 degrees, it's not pumping out 68-degree air. Well, so like when my air conditioning is on, I don't have it on all the time because I don't like paying for it. But when it's on, it's set to 68, and it's like it's not pumping out 68-degree air. It's pumping it out cooler than that, so that
Yeah.
the rest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like when even though you've got it set to like 78, yeah, you're good. Anyway, this is not a weather-related podcast. No! Welcome to Outwit, Outplay, Outcast, the French Revolutionary Era podcast on the Night of the Living East Network.
Ooh.
In this episode, we will be covering the coup of 18 Brumaire, in which Napoleon Bonaparte overthrew the Directory to become the first consul. My question for all of you to guide this discussion is if you think Napoleon being rejected by his hero Pasquale Paoli led him to rejecting his Corsican heritage and forge a unified French identity.
Obviously, right?
Yeah. I mean, he came from the frontier, well, as frontier as an island can be, and spoke closer to an Italian dialect, so naturally he felt like an outsider. So when Pasquale told him to go kick rocks, exiled him from Corsica, of course he started to feel more French.
Well, and it's always the outsider who drives for unification, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, at that time, practically everyone outside of Paris was an outsider, because you didn't just have like French meant you lived near Paris, near the Vexin or whatever. Otherwise, you were Gascon or Aquitanian or Breton, Auvergnat, Walloon, Corsican, Savoyard rather, all kinds of for the lack of a better word, sub-French.
Sub-Parisian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was no real national identity until he came along, and well, strictly speaking, the revolution itself forged French identity, and he just happened to be the one to come along and then guide it at its most critical hour, so that it benefited him the most. So,
There
yeah.
must be somebody out there that has made a joke about subpar and sub-Parisian.
Wow.
There has to be one out there, right? There's got to be a cultural joke that they make.
Yeah.
The
I'm sure
subpar
there is.
French people.
Anyway, that was my little joke. We're not actually a French Revolutionary podcast, although we could be. We're actually, you know what? We're actually a Survivor podcast. And speaking of survivors, you might say that Napoleon himself was a survivor of the French Revolution on account of he survived through the Reign of Terror, largely because his army of Italy was outwinning many victories for the nascent French Republic. But he's not in this season. The closest we have to that is a guy named Rome. Hey. Yeah.
Apparently, people wish we didn't have Rome, too.
Oh, yeah. 5 members of his tribe wish we didn't have Rome. I, as a viewer, I mean, he annoys me, don't get me wrong. But he's entertaining because he's not a bad person. He's just like, okay, he's an esports commentator, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not just a sports commentator. He's an outgoing kind of person. You know what I mean? So yeah. It takes a certain personality.
And it's his job to talk a lot. Like that's literally his job.
Yeah. And it's like, look, that can be really grating over a certain amount of time. So I don't blame people for that. Also, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go off to some other corner of the island to be away from him? It's still like 200 feet away.
Well, and you can't leave because then you'll be the one who's going idol hunting.
Exactly. Well, I'll do the recap because we talked about some idol hunting in there. So I'll do the recap and then we'll get started on this one. We'll do our usual rigmarole. All right. Well, we immediately find out why we didn't learn Rome's idol fate. It was simply too dark for him to read it, which makes perfect sense. He tells Teeny about it, who then tells everyone else because, as we were talking about just now, no one really likes Roman. Roman. Sorry, his name is Rome. In their defense, he's a lot and isn't half the fireman that he thinks he is. But thankfully, Keyshawn is the fireman that Rome thinks Rome is. Keyshawn is very good at fire making. Over on Tuku, Gabe proves that all Balmorians have an innate crab sense, and he finds two big suckers for dinner. Alas, he's in trouble with his tribe for the way he tried to lie about his idol. TK, Tiana, and Kyle form a triumvirate, with Gabe thinking that he's the fourth member, and they think that he thinks he's the fourth member. But for his part, he's making a sub-alliance, hey, sub again, with Sue and Caroline. Caroline, who I did not even notice in the previous episode at all. Like, I mentioned Saul, like, hey, did you know there's a guy named Saul on Lavo? But did you know there's a Caroline on Tuku? Anyway, then there's Gata, which is a pretty big dumpster fire. Therefore, four-way alliance agrees to babysit Andy and treat him like a toddler so that he won't murder all of them in his sleep, which is a good move. As we can see in the immunity challenge, he's a dab hand with a knife. After saying he wouldn't search for the idol, Andy immediately begins searching for an idol while babysitter Sam is in the bathroom. He finds it, but puts it back for later, only for Sam to snipe him and, through a series of events and letting everyone else know he has it, get a weak idol. In the immunity challenge, Gata rides to an early lead to victory, aided by Andy stabbing a bag of rice so aggressively that Andy had to warn him to watch his hands. Sorry, Jeff had to warn him to watch his hands. He really just went to town on that thing. But it's Sam, Anika, and Sierra that manage the obstacle course first. Lavo and Tuku are neck and neck until Tuku literally drops the ball and Lavo is able to finish their course. We are treated to a wonderful scene in which Jeff calls Rachel to the carpet for pocketing rice during the challenge. Then TK has his meltdown over losing. After immunity, Tuku is initially split 3-3 on Sue and TK, with Gabe siding with his sub-alliance. Crucially, however, Tiana felt called out during TK's meltdown. Kyle did a good job of trying to play peacemaker, but she still felt slighted and wound up siding against TK, voting him out 4-2, with Gabe playing his idol for some reason. Poor Kyle looks devastated, and we fade to black off him looking like a wounded puppy.
So what was the best part of this episode? Kyle's wounded puppy face or Rachel stealing the rice?
Oh, obviously Rachel stealing the rice. That was so fucking funny. And
I appreciate how Jeff was like, recognize game. Like,
yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Give it a shot.
I'm genuinely surprised it's taken 7 of the new seasons for this to happen, and I'm not surprised that they didn't let her get away with it, but I also would not have been surprised if they did let her get away with it.
If I was Rachel, I'd try to do like a negotiation. Like, let me keep this pocket.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff, what if I keep this? Actually, that was one of the funniest things. She empties out one pocket and then just empties out another one.
Yes.
Oh my god. It was great. I felt bad for Kyle. Like, he actually, you can tell he is trying to be like, look, these two people have beef. We're going to get them together. We're going to talk it over, and it's going to be fine. And he did a decent job of it. It's just, TK he's also a lot. We tend to be getting quite a few players who are a handful.
Yeah, I think
an ass, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
No, he's the thing with TK. TK is one of those people who, because he's a guy's guy or whatever, never thinks of it this way. But he just got too fucking emotional. Like,
yeah,
that's what it is.
He got hot-headed and hot-blooded because, like, that's the thing. It's like, after the challenge, he was still sulking and everything, but he wasn't lashing out at people. And then he apologized in that kind of way that athletes apologize when they get in trouble, where they go like, "I'm sorry to anyone I may have offended," that sort of thing, where it's like that's not actually an apology, but to them they think of it as one. But like also, when he got voted out, he wasn't mad, he wasn't super angry. He was a little bit petty when he was like, "Well, they're committed to losing," or things like that, but things of that nature. But that's not the same.
No, they're not committed to losing. They just don't want somebody who's going to have this kind of emotional outburst whenever they lose, and somebody who is going to be able to play a strong social game. Like TK got annoyed. He got annoyed that the politics were the result of his emotional outburst, right? And he's like, if y'all going to be on my tribe, everybody needs to have the mindset I have. Like, he had an emotional outburst. They didn't like it. He got upset that they didn't like that he had an emotional outburst, even though that's a totally reasonable response. And then his response to that was to, like, be controlling. And that's just, you can't have somebody like that on your dynamic. You can't work with that personality. He's strong. He's really helpful, but you can't work with that.
Yeah. You're not gonna win every goddamn challenge. You can't have somebody in your tribe that's telling you that if you're not a sore loser, you're a bad person.
Yeah, and also like, not only are you gonna lose every time, but like, look, if you lose, it happens, right? You just go like, "Fuck, that sucks." You don't go like, "I don't like anyone who's okay with losing." It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, they didn't try hard enough? No, you guys weren't good enough on that day. Like you look at, so how far did they get? Did they get to the head of the snake?
Yeah, they got down. I think part of it was like he was getting really annoyed every time the ball dropped. He was trying to bark at people from the side.
Yeah.
And so I think he was really frustrated with the challenge, which is a difficult challenge, like split between 3 people. Like, it's gonna be hard, and it's a challenge of communication. And when your communication is, "Oh God," and throwing your head back, like, that ain't helpful, man.
Yeah, like a really good example of that is Gata, the Yellow Tribe. They were getting frustrated too, and Sam was like, guys, we need to calm down," or whatever, that sort of thing. And when people were having trouble, he was telling them like, so I think Annika just didn't understand what he was saying at one point, because he was saying you should choke up on the leash or the lead or whatever it was, and she was like, "I can't go any further than I am." I just don't think she knew what choke up means. Like, she probably never played.
I think she was in a high anxiety situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a high stress moment. Like she had a perfectly reasonable reaction. Like I said, she probably did not play little league baseball. Didn't know how that. Yeah, if you don't have good enough leverage, you choke up on the bat, because she was way out there and couldn't see, basically, considering how far she was from the ball. Had she choked up, she could have gotten closer and had a better angle to look at it and everything. So it's fine though. Like, they won, and they're like, as like, Sam was not controlling. Had he lost, they would have been like, "Man, Sam, you were controlling," and da 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 or whatever. But there's no forgiveness like winning. You know what I mean? Like, he was a calming influence, and he told them, "You guys, like I need you to do this, do this, do this." And they did it, and they won, and that's all to the good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's going to be people out there who say TK was a stupid vote off. Like, you lose a challenge, you don't value strength. But as we've been harping on, the strength isn't what matters here. Like, they didn't lose this challenge because they weren't strong enough or because they weren't fast enough. They lost the challenge because they didn't communicate. Yeah, and I think go.
Finish your idea.
And there's no loss by voting out TK, right? Like, his strength will be missed, but the other stuff on the challenge won't be missed. And the fact that even in his exit interview, he was in that mood of like, if they don't value winning, like, he clearly doesn't have the social awareness to have gone far and been helpful in Alliance post-merge anyway. So he's dead weight. You can cut him. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. What I was going to say was that they still have strengths. Like, that's the thing. It's like they still have Gabe, and they still have Kyle. Tiana isn't super strong or anything, but she's in good shape. And I'm confused about Sue. Like, she looks very muscular or whatever, like a little buff boy, but
it's 60-year-old muscle.
Yeah, 59-year-old muscle. Thank you very much. But yeah, it doesn't quite look the same. Yeah, maybe she is not as strong as she appears.
I mean, it's those things. It's one of those things, right? Like the older you get, no matter how fit you are, you're going to start trending downward.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Hey, look, I will never, ever, never shame someone for getting work done on themselves. Right? If you can afford it, go ahead and do it. But
Oh,
I
that, yeah, no,
will,
whatever. Be happy with who you
I
are. If that's
will.
what it takes, do it.
Yeah. But I will say the work that she got done on her is not good.
If she likes it, that's what's important.
Hey, yeah, I hope she likes it. She looks like she got stung by a bunch of bees.
That's what some people find
Sam,
attractive.
Yeah, no, they don't.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, and whatever. Like, what's it? Look at Melanie Griffith. She got work done, and she was not happy with it because her doctor was a scam artist, and now she has not done a movie for a long time. It's too bad. But Sue is getting out there and getting the job done, and she said, "I have the best job of all of them." I don't really know. Like, okay, maybe she has the highest paying job of all of them, but let's see. What does that rest of that tribe do? So Caroline is a business manager, like a whatever. She just graduated from college, so of course she's not going to have much of a great job. And ironically enough, you got Tiana's a flight attendant. Ironic because Sue is a flight school instructor. Let's see, we got construction worker.
I want to say Sue's not just a flight school instructor. She owns the flight school.
Oh, did I say instructor? I meant to say owner. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
I just that whether or not you like teaching flight school or whatever, like owning your own business, that's It's if it's a profitable business and you're doing fine, like that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But a lot of these people also seem to be doing their dream. Like I guarantee you, Sam, who is a sports journalist, I probably guarantee you, he's like, hell yeah, dude! I wanted to do a sport. I wanted to be a sports journalist my entire life. So I always get a little bit annoyed when people compare jobs and they just look at, well, I have the best job because I have the highest paychecks. Well, I like if I was a little guy who liked to run around and watch sports and cover sports professionally and get paid for that, that would be a dream come true.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good for Sam. Although I do think so. Do you think Sam messed up a little bit with the idol? Should he have gone for 3?
Yeah. No, I feel like if it's not going to be, I feel like it's at this point it's almost a dichotomy. If you don't have a full idol that nobody else knows about, you might as well burn it, right? What's the point in making it a three thing idol or a full idol if 3 or 4 people are going to know, right? Because they go out, like he says, they go out and Annika's there, and like Sierra's is number 1. So if Sierra finds out from Annika and not him, then that's not going to be good for their buddy alliance. So Sam has to tell Sierra, but also because Annika's there and Annika's tied with Rachel, Annika is going to tell Rachel. Like you're in a situation where everybody except for Andy, and Andy might by the end of the night too, knows that you have the idol. Like, don't power it all the way up because that makes you a threat, right? Like, oh, he has a full idol, he could use it for this, blah blah blah. Like, and they're going to scheme around and with your idol for whoever knows how long. But if you have a single-use idol, everybody knows you're just going to use it, and just tell everybody like, I'm just going to use it. I just want it to be over with and used and done, and I'm going to give myself the protection for one, just to make sure that I make it, and then whatever, right? Like I think it's the right choice to make in this situation, because even if he's going to go on the full shebang, you don't want all of these people knowing you have a full idol.
Not unless they're your allies, like your actual real allies. Like that's the thing is.
Yeah, that's a lot of people to have. The problem is we've seen in the last few seasons, like even if they are your quote unquote ally, even if they're a close ally and they know you have an idol, give it 1 or 2 tribals. They're gonna try and get that idol out or get you out, right? So you want it, but you want nobody to know, not even your ally.
Yeah. That's why it's great to have one that's only good for the next tribal council. You don't have, there's nothing to think about. You play it, because it makes no sense not to.
Yeah.
It's just a free pass for one tribal. Like, why wouldn't you know? That's great.
Maybe you keep it because you're like post merge. It's a beautiful, perfect fake idol, you know.
No,
But
very stupid.
no, because
It's
you know that.
beautiful, perfect memoir souvenir that you can take home with you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but the thing is, even if you're going to try and save it to be like a fake idol later on, you know that on the other two tribes, there's also one of these boxes, and half of that tribe is probably going to know about it. Like, the odds of this being a secret is pretty low. People are going to know it was a single-use idol, and they're just passing it off.
I just think a 3, like the optimal move, I think, because he has as many friends on that tribe as he does, go for the 3. That way you're safe, at least for the next tribal council. Tell them, hey, look, if we can hold on to it, and if we make it to the merge, the 4 of us, because fuck Andy.
No, because even if you are, if I'm Annika and Rachel, right? Annika and Rachel are not Sam's allies. They're just aligned with him against Andy for the next vote. Annika and Rachel know.
Whoa. Did you not watch the last episode? It was the 4 of them being all buddy and liking each other, and then looking over to the other ones and going like, those 2 guys, I don't know about them. No. Sam, Annika, the other 2 women whose names
Rachel
escape me right now.
So four of the 5 people are in an alliance. 2 people are going to be in the bottom of that alliance, and they're going to go, hey, if we just pull in Andy, we can flush that idol.
They don't want to pull in Andy.
Yeah, they don't right now.
Because also, here's the thing. So, they are 4, and they're good shape, good thinkers so far, like in terms of puzzles, and what was the other thing? And like that little, the obstacle course, right?
Yeah.
So they are good at challenges. They've got 1 ablative member that they can afford to vote out. That idol is only going to be good for 2 more, so they can say, all right, you better play it right now, because we're all going to vote for you. You know what I mean? All 3 of us are going to vote for you, and you either play it on yourself and you choose who goes out, because that's effectively what would happen in a 2-2 anyway, or you're gone. So it's out of play. But if you guys, all 4 of you, make it to the merge, now the 4 of you have this idol that you can strategize with, and you can figure something out. I don't know. I just think that he had the opportunity, because now Rome, he did the right thing. He was in the doghouse, so he's like, I'll just get the 1, and you guys can't vote me out next time. Nah, boo. He made the right decision by staying at 1, but I think that Gabe made the right decision by going for 3 and not sticking, for a full idol just because he was, starting to kind of practice luck anyway. But Sam, he had all those friends with him, so to speak. He could have done it and gotten away with it.
I'm just saying, if he has, go Brian.
I don't think he could. I think if everyone would have known that he has a 3-day idol, that they're definitely voting for him on the first or second one.
I don't know. I like, that's the thing, Nick. You're right. That's how it should go. If Sam gets the idol and it goes for 3, the path you just laid out is the way it should happen, right? But like, there is maybe if it's a 3 tribal idol, Sam has Sarah and Rachel, or Annika and Sarah. There's some combination of 1 or 2 of them that in the back of their head there's going to be 5% of their thought is going to be, I could flush an idol though. That'd be pretty cool. That would look good on my resume to have flushed an idol before the merge. That'd be pretty sweet. Like, it's just going to be in there. And
that's fine. Let him. Just tell him.
I'd rather it be 0. I'd rather it be 0. Just make it 0. Why make it the 5%? Why like?
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't feel like the gain there is worth that risk.
I don't think the risk. I just don't think there's enough risk to not do it. But again, listener, you make the call. Why?
I'm just saying. Last season, Banu lasted like 8 episodes, and fucking Q lasted like 15 or whatever. Like, these players, like Andy, stick around a lot longer than you're supposed to because people let that 5% take over.
But, so if you do have the one that only works once, and everybody knows that you have it, then you could just save it to use as a fake idol later, because they're not going to waste votes on you because they know you're going to play it.
Yeah, but I think too many people know that it was
See,
the
but-
1 2 3 thing or 1 3 full. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, maybe.
you said that, but that doesn't matter because it's the same. It's the same idol.
No, the idol gets
Doesn't matter.
longer. The 3 tribal idol is longer than the 1 tribal idol, and presumably the full is even bigger than that.
Are you sure? Because it was the same one. They drop it in a hole in that box, and then they get another key to
Oh,
open
yeah.
that, and then they get it again. It's the
Maybe
same
just-
one.
Maybe it just looked bigger in my mind.
Yeah. And also, we learned learned the answer to a question we asked last week, where, yeah, you have to decide right then and there what you're going to do, and you decide by putting the little paper through. If you're like, no, I'm not going for it, I'm just going to hold on to the one-day idol.
Mm-hmm. You give up that clue.
Yeah. See, every question has an answer. True facts stated.
I will say though, I mean, I felt really bad for Andy this episode. This was like there's cringe, and then there's just like, oh, buddy, like no matter how Annika is pegging you as the clingy boyfriend or whatever, like it sucks to have this fuck up on camera for the entire world to immortalize for you. Like it sucks.
I'm so glad that they showed. Like, I'm really glad they only showed a little bit of that tribe. Like, they could have really belabored it with the whole "Yay, Andy! Good job, Andy!" They
Oh,
could have
God,
really stuck that in, and they were like, "We'll show just enough."
I could have.
They showed they showed that. Don't get me wrong, because hey, that's what happened. You got to show it, cinema verite and everything. But they could have done that multiple times throughout the episode. Instead, what time we got with Gata was mostly spent on Sam finding his idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Which
Sam talking to Sierra and saying, "Is it crazy if I use it on Andy?" And her fucking face.
Her face that said basically, yes, it is. Don't you?
She's just
don't
like,
you friggin' dare.
she was like mid conversation or mid articulating a thought in her mind, and she just like froze.
Yeah.
Her mind just went vacant with like, what the fuck? Everything else fell out except for what the fuck.
That's like the people from last season who were way overthinking the entire thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, just do the obvious thing. Don't screw up. Sometimes you lose the game by trying to win.
Yeah, and it's day 5. You literally don't need to make that kind of swing. You don't have to do that.
I've thought about that multiple times this episode, where someone would be like, "This is my ride or die." It's like, it's day 5. They are by definition not your ride or die. You know what I mean? It's like, just because you guys shook hands on day 1 doesn't mean you have to. You can always be like, "No, I don't like this person. I'm going to vote them out." And now you are my new number 1, Rachel, or whoever. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. It's like, yeah, say, hey, you know what? I hitched my wagon to this guy early on. He turned out to be kind of shitty. There's me for bad behavior, bad dating etiquette or whatever. Yeah.
The other really awkward moment in this episode was Rome telling Teeny bringing Kishan over, and then Rome walking over and catching her showing somebody not in their alliance that nobody mentioned Kishan at all. It's just like it's like a Survivor version of being cucked somehow. I don't know. It's like brutal. Like, what the fuck? I trusted you and I caught you red fucking handed showing this to some other fucking person. God damn it.
He owned up to it though.
Yeah, kinda.
He told him, like, look, I don't fully trust you yet, so I'm bringing this guy in on it too.
Yeah, but like, tell him before. Like, there was no pretense that she was going to tell him.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, she fully intended to not tell him. Yeah, like her first plan was, don't get caught.
Yeah.
When her first plan fell through, she improvised Plan B, which was own up to it. Okay, well.
Yeah, that fell flat there.
That lengthy silence asked me. Oh, well, actually, there was one thing I was going to say. Tiana got up to write her vote and just kept chanting to herself, "My instincts are never wrong. My instincts are never wrong." I was like, man, what must that feel like? My instincts are always wrong.
No, her recap, like she's had pretty good life. She's done some cool stuff. Like
Oh yeah, no,
she's
yeah,
she's validated in that confidence.
yeah. I'm not like, oh man, look, what a cocky bitch or anything. No, I'm like, man, I wish I had that confidence. I wish I was like, what's it like to trust your instincts? Although evidently, like she maybe was doubting her instincts and was reminding herself, no, your instincts are right. Just go with what you thought.
Yeah. I think we got decent foreshadowing too that it was going to be TK, right? Like Stu and them laying on the beach, and then they come back, and TK is like, "I wish I got to sleep in all day." Like, buddy,
that annoyed me so. Well, just
what are we doing all day?
Talking.
What annoyed me there was Sue. Like, it's a whole fucking beach. Go to the what? You're laying right next to him.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. Just be like, oh, okay, if you guys want to try it, that's cool. I'm going to go down the other. I'm not idle hunting. I just want to take a nap a little further away. 100% believable. I would not suspect her, like, going to another part of the beach to take a fucking nap.
Yeah, like, that's just common courtesy. Like, or at least, like, so...
Oh, this is completely else. That's what I can speak. Now I forgot.
Was it? I also wanted to bring up that Gabe and Sue, are they playing better than we think they are? Because last episode we got kind of bumbling Gabe with the idol thing, but this episode, a couple times, like Gabe's getting underestimated hard by Tiana and by Kyle. And definitely by TK. TK is like, Gabe will do whatever I want him to do. The way I'm moving these pieces around, I'm playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers. Meanwhile, Gabe is getting his ass out, right? Like, and also Sue, somebody said in Tribal, like, Sue's not talking strategy. Like, she's not even trying to talk strategy. It's like, well, she's doing all right. She's maybe not talking strategy with you, or maybe she's talking socially in a way that becomes strategy that you don't even notice, right? And
Sue,
I'm just yeah. Go.
Sue, I don't have enough of a read on yet to say if she's playing well or not. I don't think she's playing badly, at least. But Gabe, the Gabe of last week, would have thought, I'm with the big four. I'm going to stick with TK and vote out this person or whatever. But the Gabe of this week played well.
Yeah. My only hesitation with Gabe is he talked about Caroline and Sue as his broken little birds or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, there's some masculinity stuff in there I'm not comfortable with, but because
what Sue was saying at Tribal was that TK is sexist, and she was just saying it the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
She was talking about the previous episode where they're just like talking. He's just like talking to the dudes and like completely ignoring the women right there.
Yeah. Which I do want to bring up. This is only the third time in Survivor history that the first two vote outs have been men. The last time was Cagayan, which was like fucking 19 seasons ago.
Okay. That's what that... So here's what you wrote in there. This is only the third time in Survivor history that the first two boots have been with, comma.
Oh, yeah.
The
note's not good.
I was going to ask, what are the two? So this is the first time...
It's been back-to-back men to start the season.
Yeah.
Only
Do you know how many times it's been back-to-back women?
No, I don't know that one.
Because if that's also, like... I'm sure that's more than 3, but if that's, like, less than... if it's in the single digits, then I'm inclined to say it's not that much of a meaningful stat. I mean, it is meaningful because it's the third time to happen. But it's not that much of a meaningful stat, considering that would mean that, 36 times before it's been one man, one woman in some combination thereof. So, yeah. But if it's like, 15, 16 times 2 women have been voted out first, it's like, yeah, that's bad.
I mean, regardless, even if it is almost always a split, it's been 10 years since this has happened.
in 10 years.
Right. So like it goes to our point of so many times these tribes say that, oh, we need to keep strength, need to keep strength, need to keep strength. And this is maybe a season where that's not. And I want to say the other two times that's been back-to-back guys has been Cook Islands and Cagayan, which are both excellent seasons. So hopefully we're in for another excellent season.
Maybe they've said that both episodes so far, and that was exactly why they got rid of what's his face, because he wasn't strong.
Oh, John.
First one. Yeah, John.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huh?
Sorry, this is my first time seeing the photos at the bottom, so I'm like, okay, yeah, here's some useful information about these people.
You're just learning who's on each tribe.
Well, I know who is on each tribe, but I'm reading the hometown.
Yeah, I'm like looking at this, like, who the fuck is Genevieve? There's a Genevieve? Like,
yeah, we haven't seen a lot of the Red Tribe.
Yeah, what we have seen of Red largely has been Rome. Oh, that's an unfortunate last name. Being very extra, like that's the majority of it, and Teeny being
Tina and Aisha. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, we'll get more of them once they go to tribal. Like, it's only the second episode, and I'm gonna say it's nice that we've gotten two different tribes losing, because it's so often these last few years it's been like the same tribe over and over and over, and you just get inundated with their tribe dynamic in a way that's just, it gets repetitive.
Yeah, you know me. I've talked many a time about the not liking the death spiral, so I'm glad it's did not happen this time around. Before we go to fantasy, I just need to share my little fact about Delaware. That is that there is a building in Delaware that houses it's the home address for about 3,000 corporations.
Oh yeah, there was the NPR on that building.
Oh, it's been all over the place, yeah. Anyway, all right, cool beans. Fantasy?
Yeah, sure. Let me get to that part in the notes. There was a bet that resolved this week. We have an episode number bet for an idol showing up, and Brian picked episode 2. So congratulations, Brian. That's 3 points for you. We don't have any other bets that resolved. Nobody had TK for anything. Somebody did mention, I didn't even realize there was a Caroline on this episode. Apparently I have Caroline as my pick a winner. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, not looking good, because
no,
I haven't shown her for more than like 5 seconds.
That's okay. They just haven't been to her tribe before now. It's all right. It's okay. She pulled a move. She sided with Gabe, knocked out the strong person. It's okay. Speaking of knocking out the strong person, I had the worst showing this week, but we're going to start with Nick because he's in last still. Nick, you have Gabe, Rachel, and Kishan. Rachel and Kishan each got you 1 point because they won their immunity challenge. Gabe got you 3 because he went to tribal council but survived. That's kind of like playing with fire, and in this game, fire represents your life. That's why it's worth more points.
You missed the point, by the way.
What?
He played his idol.
He did play his idol for himself. How many points is that?
Just 1, I think.
I haven't been giving points for getting the idol. Oh, but you picked him up after he got it.
Yeah.
Has immunity played for him early? Yes, that's 1 point. The big, you get a lot of points for the idol if you negate the votes. Yeah, that's what gets you the points. So you and I are tied. So that is 4 for Gabe because he also played his idol. That's 6 onto your 9, giving you 15. I came in the week with 11 points. I wasn't first. I've got Kyle, Sierra, and TK. Sierra gets me 3 points. Or Sierra gets me 1. Kyle gets me 3. TK gets me 0 because he was eliminated. So that's 4 onto my 11, giving me 15.
TKO?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just delete this equal sign in here, and there we go. TKO.
TKO.
Brian, you came in the week in second place, but you're vaulting up the first thanks to the 3 points from that vet. And 1 point each from Teeny and Annika for winning the challenge, and 3 from Tiana for surviving tribal. Nobody gets the 2 points from Sue because she's on the bench, but I do have to replace TK. My choices are Caroline, Sue, Andy, Sam, Aisha, Rome, Saul, and Genevieve. I think
play with fire. Pick up Rome.
I am. Well, you know, Rome has a single-use idol. He's gonna play it.
Rome if you want to.
I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm very mad that Andy either didn't get that or he no-sold it. That was a very good one.
I wish
I was
wish,
waiting to say that. I just want you to.
Do you
wish,
know? Does anyone know what esport he comments on?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, he said it in his thing. I'm taking Sam, by the way.
League of Legends,
I knew you were gonna do that.
Apex Legends.
He's got points in the thing. Is it Apex Legends? Did you
I
look
don't
it up or
know.
no?
I'm just spitting out games that are popular.
Let me see.
Up to
Rome, Survivor, 47. It'll take 4 seconds. Anyone else want to do any ad drops?
No, pretty good with my team. I still like Kashan, especially now that I know he knows how to make fire. Rachel just seems like, I mean, the other option on Gata is Andy, so no thank you. And Gabe, I think he'll I'm going to ride a wave. I think he'll be okay a little bit longer anyways.
I mean, I wouldn't mind taking Rachel from you if you would want to trade.
No, I like Rachel. She's
Okay.
all right.
She's got that very valuable
graphic designer.
She's got
The
the very
glasses
valuable 1/3 of the Christian hat trick that make Jeff laugh is a hard one to get.
Oh God! Plus, oh yeah, I can never drop someone who stole rice. Like, come on.
That's true. that's somebody who's gonna look for advantages and do things that she needs to do. It's a good indicator.
I'm gonna pretend that was the reason. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, one of the older ones left. 34. This is a very young cast.
Yeah,
A lot of them are pretty young these days.
How they've been last several seasons. A bunch of
Yeah.
people in their 20s and then a couple older.
Fortnite. He does Fortnite.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was still a competitive scene for that. Good for them. All right, well, I learned that there was a competitive scene for Fortnite, so that's probably the reason, or a good time for us to stop podcasting forever. So we'll see everyone next week when we talk about me getting a million zillion points. It's gonna happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
It's finished.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
Actually, shoot, maybe I won't. I'm full of piss and vinegar. I'm full of energy. Like I said, I went to bed. I went to bed at 7:30 last night just because no one could tell me not to, and I slept until about 5:30. So I got plenty of sleep, and now I'm kind of like, am I tired? Not really. I'll read a book.
There you
Okay,
go.
bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
One moment.